Okay, I already know what you guys are thinking. This is going to be weird. And it is. Now, remember I told you when I first got onto YouTube, I noticed that anytime I brought up Eminem, the amount of hate was unsurmountable. Now, you guys can see, I have my Eminem book back here. I still love Rick and Morty. I still have my doll. Basically, everything is still back there. But, yeah. Check this out. Hey fam, so shout out to Vinny. Vinny hit me up on
Vinny is
Facebook
Messenger
you, just to say hi and just keep me up to date on what's going on with Eminem, the newest stuff.
Okay, hurry up.
Why are we saying these things?
Why are we saying what?
Calling Eminem a culture vulture.
Yes. Why are we saying that? Come on, Lord Jamar. Why are we saying
that? And said what I've been
saying. Is not the king of rap.
Said what I've been saying. Some people say he said that because he must be a watcher of Vlad.
He went on the radio.
And said what I've been saying.
Is not the king of rap.
Said what I've been saying. Some people say he said that because he must be a watcher of Vlad TV and Lord Jamar. That's what some people say. I feel that he just came to the same conclusion that any live nigga would come to. Of course he's not the king of rap. Who listens to Eminem? Like the same fucking shit that he has. He said, really? When you pull up with Eminem? And the nigga was like, whoever he was talking to was like, sometime, but look who he was talking. He was talking to a corny nigga. I forget who it was, but it was a corny nigga. And
the shaming is so horrible. Who wants to be called corny? Nobody. You know we're going to talk about Royce and Royce's post and shout out to Swanky Sus, shout out to Kearney, shout out to all the stands that are on my Twitter. Everybody's like, please, are you going to say something? And I'm like, meh, I think everybody's already going to talk about it. But the thing is, has everybody been talking about it as long as I have? I don't know. Because I've been talking about it since I've started on YouTube. I have noticed this, and I have been fighting haters since I've been on YouTube. Eminem is a guest in the House of Hip Hop. Due to his lyrical ability, he gets a guest room when he spends the night instead of the couch. Stan is my favorite song from him. However, he's not the greatest. He'd have to beat Cool G Rap, Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, Nas, Cormega. Yeah, I'm a born and raised New Yorker, and obviously there's some bias. That being said, I do feel Lord Jamar is a hater. When East Coast hip-hop producers wouldn't touch 50, Eminem gave him an opportunity to eat more, and I respect that. I've yet to see him display any characteristics of a culture vulture. Culture vulture would be a Pink, a Jessica Alba. Those are two examples of artists whose beginnings were hip-hop, and after achieving a certain amount of fame, left hip-hop behind like Kid Rock. Eminem has always been hip-hop. He grew up a poor white boy, so yeah, he can relate to hood. Peace, fam. Wow. Stevie Wonder never called him a culture vulture. He said he didn't appreciate Eminem dissing Michael Jackson in his Lose It video, but it doesn't make any sense because Lord Jamar dissed Michael Jackson worse than Eminem. Everybody knows that Lord Jamar is a racist and just a hater, and also Vlad is a drama starter. Corny is one of those words that gets thrown around too easily. I feel Vlad is in the wrong for discussing this with Lord Jamar, someone who we all know has a biased opinion and hatred towards Eminem. I wouldn't be mad if Rakim, 2 Chainz, and others tell Jamar to not speak for them, though. In regards to Stevie Wonder, Callie, you touched on that situation perfectly. Well, I love Mark B. Mark B has been with me since the beginning. Snow the Products live on Facebook. Jamar always saying something about him. That is a fact. Shout out to Ezra. Vlad has consistently been biased against Eminem without explaining exactly why, besides the generic I can't relate to his music. Eminem actually shouted out to Lord Jamar previously, so Lord Jamar generally dislikes the fact that a white visitor can out-rap everyone in his house. The Elvis reference is ridiculous because Elvis stole music and gave the original authors nothing. Eminem isn't taking away from the culture but strengthening it and raising the bar so rap will get better as a whole. Finally, rap is a combat sport and there should be criticism. The problem is so-called rappers are using podcasts to take shots instead of getting on the mic and dissing someone. Did everyone forget that rap is lyrical? Shout out to you, Ezra. That's facts. And nice. I love all Eminem songs. Just because some people don't like him, they just want to be him or just be like him because they can't beat him lyrically or go bar for bar with him at all. And he is still the greatest rapper alive today. I feel just like you do too. King Twizzy. Hashtag real shit though. I could write 100 paragraphs on when you get to a certain extent in your career that has a great impact on the world, and Eminem has earned his right to be in the history books of rap, which he has inspired a new generation of rappers just like Biggie and Tupac, NWA, Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, Lil Wayne and Birdman, Chris Brown. I always get mixed up with that. T-Pain, Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, Jay-Z and Beyonce, Mariah Carey, Lady Gaga, etc. The list goes on. But this is all I'm going to say. Eminem had a tough life growing up, just like everyone else, and what he went through and where he is at today deserves praise and earned his title as GOAT and the rap god, period, because all they talk about Eminem, leave that man alone. He is not bothering nobody, but all honesty, M has his faults just like everyone else. He didn't mean to rap or say anything bad about Michael Jackson, and Stevie Wonder was upset about what M said and wanted M to apologize, which I believe he did because M grew up off music and has shown and given undying respect to the OGs, titans, icons, legends of the music industry. So M is off somewhere enjoying his life and what he does best, rap. Leave him alone. But fun fact, when you get to a high point in your career, you can believe you're one of the greatest to ever do it. That's fine. That's your opinion. When you get to Lil Wayne, when you get to that level of status, you can have your opinion about your music, yourself, your life. Who knows? You have a lot of people who think they're the greatest of rap, but it's their opinion. Like, who knows? Lil Wayne might believe he is the king of rap. That's his opinion. Who knows? Iggy might think she's the best to ever do it. That's her opinion. It's like having an opinion about things are bad. I don't get Jamar's logic because I'm old. Maybe I've lost touch. I don't know. But M has always shown respect and still giving it nonstop. And in February, I'm trying to see Snoop Dogg and Eminem's album. I know it's going to melt the place down. That was amazing. And then here's Harvey. And Harvey used to help me really talk about these kinds of things. Hey all, M is not a culture vulture. Leonard Cohen, Post Malone, Vanilla Ice, Everlast, Whitey Ford, those are culture vultures. Okay, so I get what Jamar's saying, and maybe it's because how I'm raised. I really like M, and I have all but 2 of his CDs, but when I'm riding or driving with friends, I'm not bumping him, honestly. I dissect M's songs to get the metaphors and messages, and then I'm not really listening anymore. But I will play Pusha or Jay or Kendrick on repeat, and this is because I relate to them. They speak of what I feel, what I go through, so riding with them puts me in a different headspace. There is a real difference between being a racist, a bigot, and being prejudiced. When it comes to hip-hop, Lord Jamar may be bitter because of how people give him accolades for things that others have done. Lord Jamar may be a hip-hop bigot, but he's not a racist. He is very defensive of hip-hop culture, and I understand that too. As I always say, M deserved his GOAT title, but there are many things M fans give credit for, not knowing a lot of history of the culture. I said it before, we will never get past racism until people learn the root of it and accept it so that the wound can heal. This problem is too deep-seated for people my age to just brush under the rug and say let it go or get over it. That's like your friend knows his father beats your mom on a daily basis and telling you just get over it. A lot of black people have lost loved ones for generations to racism or lost jobs and livelihoods. Best believe me, it's deeper than you know. Most of you were born when all races were allowed to go to school together, or you're able to go see your friends of another race without any issues, but your parents and grandparents weren't so lucky. Train Squad. It's easy to say get over it or move on when you've never personally experienced it. I'll ask a question. Lupe Fiasco asked on the song American Terrorist, how do you forgive the murderer of your father? Exactly. I haven't. Some people will never be able to. I love you all, but it starts with honest dialogue and learning to accept the raw facts that I think a lot won't want to or be able to hear. Well said, Harvey Dent. Shout out to you.
My point is, live niggas, live, you know, people with respect and like people that other people would look up to as far as black men in the hood don't listen to Eminem, never have listened to Eminem. We can listen, if we hear it, we can say, oh, this white boy rhyme good, but none of us fuck with Eminem. None of us.
So he knows everything.
Hopefully the train is loud enough to stop me from
Perfect
swearing
timing.
out loud or to cover it up. This is so vulgar. Why would he go that far as to... This is what I was saying in the last... I feel bad because I had just got through telling you guys that I wasn't... I mean, I was kind of trying to stay off of this, but it seems like no matter how many times we try to get away from racism, it's just right here. It's just right here. What was the point of this? Eminem has been around, okay, he's been around for 46 years. Eminem is 46. He has not once changed who he is or at all. He's been in music for 20 something of those years. He has not gone into any other genre of music. I don't know if that train is trying to warn me.
It is.
Or trying to trigger a blackout session for myself.
I'm so mad.
But
there's still like 12 minutes of me trying to figure out like what was the point of Vlad doing this. Okay, so if you guys want to watch it, you guys can. I'll put the link in the description because, like I've said, a lot of people don't understand how I can break down a lot of Eminem's videos very quickly, and that's because my sister is one of the biggest stans, and it's because of her that I got into Eminem's music. If it wasn't for her, I would not know as much as I do. So it's just because of her. I do it because of her because I feel bad that I was just like, don't like him. Just don't. Because we grew up on the wrong side of the tracks, and it was just like everybody that I knew growing up, we all listened to Tupac. It was like we listened to Tupac, we listened to Biggie, we listened to everybody, and it was like, you don't listen to Eminem, you're not supposed to. And I've said this story repeatedly. I felt so horrible about it. So just just a way to make it up to her, it's like, and because I do like Eminem's music, I mean, dude is fire, and it makes me laugh when people are like hating on him. Well, don't hate on him because it's cool. Don't hate on him because your friends think it's cool. It's like, be your own person. Don't be a sheep. It's crazy. Like, it's a cool... Anyway, so yeah, let's go over to... let's go see what Royce is talking about, because you guys are all like, you gotta see what he's talking about. And I already know. Shout out to Kid Vicious, because Kid already explained to me about his brother. And Kid is very, very direct. And if Kid is direct, that means that his brother's direct. So, let's go.
You know, like, I think if people knew how much money he made off of that shit, man, they probably would look at it different. Like, especially Lord Jamar, you know, like, you're a legend in the game, you're part of a legendary rap group. It's like you going and sitting on this man's couch, sitting in this man's chair, and, you know, like, you running up these views because you got so much controversial shit to say about one fucking person. And, you know, he walks away with the check, and you walk away, you know,
with nothing.
Craving attention. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even like seeing niggas in that space. I don't like seeing you in that space, brother. You know what I mean? Because like talking about him like real niggas don't listen to his music and all that. First of all, man, you're not like the measuring stick of who's real or who's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what you think about us over here or you think about me. I understand you said some shit like, yeah, you respect 50, but the other niggas know who I don't respect or whatever the fuck that was you said. Like, yo, I don't care about none of that shit.
Ooh. Oh. I hope you were just kidding around, Lord Jamar, because did you see that switch up right there? When he says he doesn't care, it means like he forgave that. He forgave that. I'm not kidding you. I have straight up told Kid Vicious, I have been very fortunate to talk to Kid because he knows that I grew up on the wrong side of the tracks. He knows. And Kid is a very, very humble and a good person. And I've asked him about his music. I've asked him about his brother's music, because that's the only way I could get real answers. And I've said, hey, your brother is very intimidating, you know. And he's like, no, you know, you're getting the wrong idea. I'm like, no, I get that sense from him. I get that feeling because I grew up around people just like Royce to 5'9", very subtle. You do not want this. You don't want him upset. You don't. When he says something, you listen. You don't discount him. If he's joking around and happy, it's a great day. When he has to talk about something, you have really got on his last nerve. If he's paid attention to something that you've done wrong, that means you've been doing something wrong for a long time.
You don't have to respect me, just don't disrespect me. I don't want no problems with nobody and I don't have to fuck nobody up. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. You're not cool to me. You're not tough to me. You're not the measuring stick of what street niggas listen to. I don't look at you like no type of street nigga. I look at you the same way you look at Marshall. You say he talk about a bunch of shit he don't do. I feel like you rapped about a bunch of shit you never did and you still ain't doing. So what?
Damn. Do you see how he evened that out? If you're going to treat somebody one way, then this is how I'm going to treat you. It's the golden rule. Treat others how you want to be treated. So he's saying, hey, how you're treating Mr. Mathers is how I'm going to treat you then. And if you want to be treated better, then you should start treating others better. You know, who made you all of a sudden, you know, the know-it-all? Who all of a sudden made you in charge? Like, did you go around hood to hood in every single state and every single county and, you know, everywhere, all over? I've asked these questions when I would make these videos specifically about Eminem because I got trolled, I got hatred, I got called so many things. I still kind of do. But now that I'm in all kinds of different genres of music, I don't get called that so much. And now that when Eminem had dropped Kamikaze and all the reactors were reacting to it, all the trolls had to disperse. But, oh man, yeah. They do not like him to get any sort of praise. It's like if you praise him at all, it's like, ooh, what's wrong with you? You know? And I'm the type, if you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to do it. And if you tell me dumb reasons why I can't do it, I'm going to do it even more so. Because I feel that if you're going to be petty and I can't get through to you and show you that you're being petty, then we're just going to be petty together. And people are like, no, you should be the bigger person. No, this is a hobby. I don't have to be the bigger person. I have to be the bigger person at work. I have to be the bigger person for my kids. This is ridiculous. These are grown adults that are acting like this. This is crazy. So anyway, yeah. It was really, I don't know how many times I almost quit YouTube because of this. Because people were just attacking the heck out of everything that I did that had anything to do with Eminem, they just hated it. Everything. He's not this and he's not that and he's no good and it's corny and it's awful. And I'm like, really? How come people are so happy and requesting it all the time and saying how it helps them, and that his music changed their lives and got them through drug addiction and got them through the worst times of their lives and depression? You know, in Australia, shout out to my cousin in Australia, he even told me that they do workshops based on his music to help people through hard times. And I mean, so no, I don't understand these comments that Vlad is coming up with. Shout out to you, Philippe.
What's really the difference? You know what I'm saying? And nobody's faulting nobody for having their opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can have your opinion. And how I feel about Griselda, nobody can say nothing bad to me about Griselda. Those are my niggas. So if I go on your show and I do an interview with you and I know that you don't fuck with Griselda, I'm not seeing your side. You don't have a side in my book. And, you know, y'all keep fucking bringing my name up on the show. Like, you know, Royce would never come on the show and say anything bad about Marshall. You goddamn right. I wouldn't come on your show and say anything bad about any of my friends. I don't have an obsession with Marshall as just an isolated friend. I treat all my friends the same way. I don't speak bad on my friends.
Detroit versus everybody. That's a real friend. Royce has been a real friend. He knows that Mr. Marshall Mathers, I mean, what can he do? He is a prisoner of his own success. Can he go out and about the way that Kid, Vicious, and Royce da 5'9" can go out? Kid's loving it. He can go wherever he wants. I've asked him. He's like, I love it. I can go wherever I want. I can do whatever I want. But yet, there's the other side too. You know, I get to, you know, be all mixed up in all this stuff. Royce probably, I don't know, probably seen a little bit more of the fame side more, has to be more cautious. I don't know. But I bet you anything, he gets tired of it more than ever. Like, it's no problem to defend any of his friends, but I bet you he feels that heat of, oh great, if I defend Eminem, everybody's going to come down on me like a ton of bricks. And I bet you he hates that. I bet you he hates that. Like, because he looks like he is a grown man, which he is, and he's a man that's used to, you know, making his own way, making his own decisions, and not caring about what anybody else says. So why should it matter what millions of people think, or Vlad, or Lord Jamar, or anybody else? It's that peer pressure. It's that, what are they going to think? All eyes on him. Is he going to defend? Is he going to defend? Is he going to defend? What does it matter if he defends Mr. Marshall Mathers? Because it hits, you know, all kinds of, you know, shout out to ePro, shout out to all these other news indicates. It hits YouTube, it hits this and that. Oh, look, here he goes again defending. When it can't just be, you know, Royce da 5'9" defends his friend. No, he's defending a superstar. So that's what I'm trying to get at. It's got to be unnerving. He has to pick his battles. He can't just, hey, you know, quit bringing him up. You know, quit making this an issue. You know, move on. I mean, M has said it how many times? M defends himself all the time. His lyrics speak for themselves. You know, I mention you, lose for me. You mention me, millions of views. Whatever. It's back. I don't know if I said backwards, whatever, but it's true. Why, anytime Eminem mentions anyone, all of a sudden he makes that person relevant. I didn't know who MGK was. All of a sudden, we got Killshot or Rap Devil, whatever, which one, and household name. So, I didn't really know who Lord Jamar is. I'm sorry. I'm not that well versed in the culture. I know he has, he was one of the artists in Brand Nubian, I believe. And you guys are probably all chuckling or whatever, and there you go. So if he used to go at Lord Jamar, first of all, that's not great, because Eminem is very respectful of the OGs. He always has been. But what would that accomplish? You know, just gonna make it bigger, and it's just gonna go on and on. It just doesn't make sense. So anyway,
I don't have sides. It's our side. It's our side, and you don't have a side. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So like that's how I feel about that situation. And I really think if we came to a place where we can be a little bit more unified, if not even just in this country, because the value that we bring to this country is ridiculous. I think if we realize that and we could take that value either somewhere else or just stand with each other in solidarity just long enough to where, you know, we can get whatever it is that we need to move us forward as a people. Like, it's time to start thinking about the next generation. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's coming into this game without the information. You know, the shit that y'all worried about is not important. Like the top 50 lists and the top 20, all of these lists and shit. Like, yo, man, like, it's cool if you put me on a list, and it's cool if you don't put me on a list. You know, you're entitled to your opinion. Like, in my mind, you don't really qualify to validate me.
that's right.
You know, like, I feel like as an artist, you have to, like, guard that and protect that and not let so many people be in control.
I have said that so many times. I don't mean to keep interrupting, Royce. I'm sure you guys have seen this a lot of times. It is astounding to see Royce actually speaking so casually, I know. But let me tell you this. Every time I see any kind of post where everybody's like, Royce is so underrated, Royce is so this, I'm always commenting, no, he doesn't feel that way. He's exactly where he wants to be. He doesn't feel any type of way. He does not look at others to validate himself. He never has. You can see that in him. He knows how good he is. Guess what? Everybody's, you know, whoever Eminem works with, and everybody loves Eminem, yes. Well, maybe not everybody, because this is why what we're talking about. How many times has Eminem said, you know, we're not alike, but me and Nickel are identical? I mean, he threw that in there. I mean, he's letting everybody know, you guys don't come close, but this guy, he's with me. And you saw that old tweet, shout out to Flows Too Wet. He threw that old tweet out there when Royce and Eminem used to, I guess, tweet back and forth, where M like really loved something that Royce did, some kind of freestyle, and M was like, whatever, that was so good, drop dead or something, I hope you die, or, you know, something really funny. I mean, that just goes to show you the amount of respect that these two lyricists have for one another. So he's telling you, no matter what anybody says, put me in top 5, don't put me in top 5, it doesn't matter. What the greatness that I know I have is within me. And he's trying to educate all the younger generation, like, you guys need to start owning your own businesses. Look at what, you know, Jay-Z has done. Look at what, I don't know, Russell Simmons and these businessmen that have really done something. They own things. They have wealth that's way beyond just now. It's going to be for generations. And that's what he's trying to get everybody to look at, not making silly lists and doing silly things.
Of you in that way. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I just look at all this shit, and then I look at the Vlad shit and all of that. It's like, bro, how long are y'all gonna talk about this shit? Like, why don't y'all just find something else to talk about? It's not an issue over here in our book. You know what I'm saying? Like, we respect what you do. Like I said, I respect Lord Jamar and, you know, what he stood for in the culture, or whatever it is that he did, or whatever it is that he got going on. I wish you nothing but the best, bro. But your opinion don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can not like shit from here to across the street. We don't fucking care. And neither does anybody else, bro. I hate to put it to you like that, man, because I don't mean no disrespect, but you really, really, really have a false sense of what's really going on out here in the world. Like, you really think you can speak for like real street niggas and real cool niggas. You are not cool. What have you done cool? Like, at least, like, name, like, a charity or something that you have directly invested your time and energy in, and I'll donate to that motherfucker tomorrow.
He just turned into Eddie Murphy right there. Did you guys see that? That's hilarious. You are not cool. He turned into Eddie Murphy. That was cold-blooded. I'm going to rewind that. I want to see that one more time. That's not right. First he said, I respect you, what you've done for the culture, but you're not cool. You're not on this side. You're on that side. How does it feel, Lord Jamar? How does it feel? Damn. That's what you get. I'm telling you. That's karma.
That, man, because I don't mean no disrespect, but you really, really, really have a false sense of what's really going on out here in the world. Like, you really think you can speak for like real street niggas and real cool niggas. You are not cool. What have you done cool? Like, at least, like, name like a charity or something that you have directly invested your time and energy in, and I'll donate to that motherfucker tomorrow. Just please, man, like, please point out something that you've done. Please tell me one line that you have said in your career that qualifies you to critique a top tier lyricist. I don't give a fuck if you don't like his music. The motherfucker is in everybody's top 5. You don't get there by just being a white rapper. And I know it's like, oh, there you go defending him again. There you go again. Goddamn, I'm defending lyricists. It's a small community of motherfuckers that went to the hip hop shop before we got on. And we went to clubs like the Ebony Showcase, and we was the backpack niggas. We was the hip hop niggas. All of us, we listened to M's album. Everybody in the hood was listening to M's album that's into lyrics. And every nigga, every real nigga ain't street, and every street nigga ain't real. What up, though? Every street nigga ain't real. Every nigga in the hood ain't a street nigga that only want to listen to Jeezy. You know what I'm saying? And every nigga that sit his broke ass on DJ Vlad couch don't qualify to speak for all real niggas. Y'all niggas ain't fucking cool, man. Y'all goofy as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand when y'all became the measuring stick. But yo, man, like, anybody who we, like, niggas sign or we got affiliations with, man, niggas would just prefer if y'all just find somebody else to interview. Like, it's straight oppression at this point. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you're monetizing off of a lack of knowledge, or, just niggas plays on, like, I'm going to keep it real, or I'm going to be, I'm going to be objective. Fuck objective.
Yeah.
Your show ain't objective. You're not objective. It ain't nothing fair about your show. It's a one-sided ass show where y'all sit up there and y'all tear motherfuckers down. That's what y'all do. It's nothing fly about that. It's nothing cool about that. Sitting around talking about niggas all day. I ain't never seen no nigga with no money sit around and talk about niggas all day. It's real shit going on in the world. It's kids in Flint who don't even have fucking clean water to drink, and you about to fucking bore me with Lord Jamar's opinion on some fucking rap? I don't know one lyric this nigga ever said in my life.
Dang.
Like, come on, man. We got to get it together, man. We got to get it together. Niggas sitting around talking about Jay-Z and what he said to Jermaine Dupri. Yo, that don't got nothing to do with nothing, man.
Nah.
It don't have nothing to do with nothing. Y'all niggas is just going to sit around and just complain and complain and complain and complain. Like, what steps, man, are we going to take? You know what I mean? Like, what steps are we going to take? I stand with Cap and I stand with Hove. I always stand with Hove. He's never made a decision that I've seen that where he gave me any type of reason to question his motive. And I don't have nothing against him wanting to get more billions and claim ownership. There's nothing wrong with that. What y'all don't realize is Hov and Dre shouldn't be the only billionaires in hip hop. You know how many billionaires we should have? Nipsey Hussle should have been a billionaire.
Oh, wow.
We generate all the fucking money. Being a billionaire shouldn't be like unicorn status, man. That shit should be the norm. We generate the money on the norm, on a day-to-day basis, on a daily. We are just all the way pushed outside of the business. And by the time we get to a point where we have the information, we coming back from being behind the fucking 8 ball. We playing catch up, just like black people in America. We ain't even know our names, nothing, where we came from, and nothing in our lineage. We've been playing catch up since then. You know what I mean? Y'all niggas gotta realize that. Y'all gotta realize that we living in America and stop purposely tapping out and not being involved in knowing the origin of where you come from. Y'all niggas is so focused on being.
I don't mean to interrupt, but if you guys actually listen to Royce da 5'9"'s album, Book of Ryan, there is one track in particular that he does rap about that, and it's really powerful. So I really recommend. It was a long time ago that I covered that track. Oh my gosh, I probably drove everybody crazy because I think it was like, that reaction was like probably over 30 minutes long, but because it's not my culture, I felt like I had to be very thorough. Plus, you know, I was kind of really new. Anyway, but yeah, it's really sad because if you think about it, it's what he's saying. How are you going to pay for some kind of DNA test or whatever, and then it's going to tell you like where you're from or anything about you? Or, you know, he was speaking on that. It's true. How do you know where you're from or where you came from when you don't really know anything about yourself? You know, that really was profound, and I thought it was very sad at the same time to just not be able to start from really any particular place. You know, if you're taken from somewhere, brought here, just given a whole new identity, how many times were you given a different identity? How are you supposed to, you know, from where? Let alone try to get somebody to help you. You know, so anyway, I didn't mean to get sidetracked, but I had to just say that because I keep trying to think of what track it was called, because my favorite track is Power and Cocaine is the second one, but yeah, this one it's on there. Every single track on Book of Ryan is very very deep, and it means a whole lot, and you can tell that it was a purging for Royce. It really is. But also, that track that I'm talking about, he is giving so much information. Well, because it's like he's kind of talking to his son. He is talking to his son. So, anyway, let's go.
Being tapped into the hood and hood this and hood that, hood that. I'm so tired of hearing that shit, man. It's like none of that shit matters, man. It ain't about that. It's never been about that. It ain't never been about no tough guy shit. It's about what can you offer to the culture? What can you do that's gonna make you last? Are you gonna make a classic album? I don't give a fuck about your radio song. I don't care about that, dog. I've been here for 20 years. I seen niggas come and go. You know what I'm saying? Would you rather make $700,000 for 20 years straight, or would you rather make $2 million for 2 years straight and then fall off? That's depression. That's depression and suicide waiting to happen. And that's what this business, that's what it's set up to do to you. So when you got somebody in a position that's finally willing to give people the information, you don't condemn that person. And I'm talking about Jay-Z. I'm talking about Jay-Z, and I think it's time for us artists to start asking ourselves the tough questions. Are we getting what we deserve? If I'm going to go sit on Vlad's show, is it really worth it? Is it really worth it to be objective about people I'm in business? You know, like.
And the track, the name of it, I just looked it up right now. It's called Field Negro, and I did it 5 months ago. That's probably one of the biggest reasons why I couldn't remember. But yeah, Field Negro by Royce da 5'9". So it didn't get very many views, only 128 views. I guess a lot of people just don't want to hear the truth, you know? Everybody'd rather just be wild out. I don't know. But I'm glad that Royce spoke out and spoke up, because it's sad that it took him to do it, but at the same time, people take it more serious. It had to be him because nobody else would do. If it was proof, we already know. It wouldn't have been an issue. Proof's not here. Even Mr. Porter, probably the same thing. I don't know. But we're grateful. Because it was getting out of control. All it's doing is breeding hate. Live TV really was just breeding hate. It's why pick on somebody who's doing so good? You know, I don't know how many times later in the years we'll see Eminem doing these Make-A-Wish for these kids, you know, these cancer kids and stuff like that. And you know, sure, a lot of celebrities do that. You know, M really doesn't want people to know about that. I know that Royce da 5'9" sees a lot of things, and he doesn't say a lot of things. Kid Vicious, the same thing. They all have a code, just like Royce da 5'9" said. It's us against everybody, and that's Detroit. So you have to respect that. All right, guys, that was my 2 cents. Shout out to Swanky. Shout out to Vinny. Shout out to all the stands on Twitter, hip hop Twitter. I know. It doesn't matter if I'm first, if I do the reaction. You guys know this is every day. It's not just like who can be first. I've been doing this, so it is what it is. Shout out to Kay. Shout out to Courtney, and of course Kid Vicious. I'll see you on Twitter, King. Let's go. Of course, Royce da 5'9", busy man.